What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Universal Bros Unplugged podcast, where we talk about everything Universal. Today's episode, we're talking about HHN origins, literally from the start to what we have
Till
now.
now.
So, that being said, let's get into the intro.
And we're back.
Alrighty, let's get into City Walk talk. What's going on in City Walk? So, we are just a few days away from the start of HHN 34, and crews continue to add final details to the scare zones, tribute store, and this is City Walk talk, the Dead Coconut Club. In Universal City Walk, additional decorations have been added to the Dead Coconut Club. The club will be themed to a sorority of witches. Coven banners now hang from the center balcony, and there is a brick-style wrap below the overhang. A pair of fox brick columns with witch hat-inspired toppers lead to the entrance. That also adding to that, there are pumpkins, some carved into jack-o'-lanterns, above the windows. Lots of branches are still staggered all on the floor behind the barriers as they continue to slowly build up, the whole theming. Merchandise kiosks in City Walk have been transformed into HHN merch stations. They have decals similar to those on the Universal store in the park. The decals feature gargoyles, glass motifs, and the HHN logo, of course.
Classic.
So that wraps up this episode's City Walk talk. Let's get into the episode. So, we're talking about the origin of Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes.
Which technically wasn't called Halloween Horror Nights at first.
Right.
It
No.
stemmed
So basically, as we know, the park opened up in 1990.
Yeah.
Right? However, in the subsequent year, in 1991, due to issues that they were having with attractions like Jaws, which we talked about,
Yeah.
Earthquake, and Confrontation, they were having a lot of issues with the rides going down, and because of the advanced mechanisms of the animatronics and everything. And so in the summer, they started getting really good attendance numbers because they had just opened up the Back to the Future ride. However, in the fall, they noticed that their attendance was waning.
Right.
And so the CEO of Universal at the time approached a lady that we would come to know as Julie Zimmerman, one of the creative directors of the park at the time.
Okay.
And basically the CEO put her in charge of coming up with a Halloween type event that people could partake in at the park after hours,
Yeah.
which was something that Disney at the time had not capitalized on.
Correct.
And so that year was the first official night of what would come to be known as Universal Studios Fright Nights.
Fright Nights.
That is the first year of what we would come to know as HHN.
Correct.
So that first year, it was one house. Because obviously it was a smaller event. It was for select nights. It's not
Yeah.
like almost 2 months. Well, give or take a month and some change.
Yeah.
Like we know it to be.
Correct.
It was for like 3 nights. And the price of admission was around $12 a person.
Damn. I mean, back in the day, though.
Which
That's
is a
like-
fraction in comparison to what we paid it
I mean, yeah,
today, but it's also
with
it's changed dimension.
inflation,
Yeah, of course.
it's about the same.
And so the one house that they had that year was called the Dungeon of Terror. And the Dungeon of Terror was essentially exactly what it sounds like. It was a large house placed in the excess weight area of the Amity ride, where they would, hold people when the line would become extensive.
Yeah.
And the whole point was that guests would go through it, and it was a series of people being tortured in horrific ways. And the people getting tortured were dressed like park goers.
Right.
It was a huge hit. Huge hit. Now, we get to 1992. 1992, due to licensing issues, it's not called Fright Night anymore. It's called Halloween Horror Nights. And if any of you have ever been on YouTube before, you can see the original commercial for it, where it's like a sponsorship going with Pepsi, and on the 2 liters at the time, you could cut out the coupon and get a couple dollars off an entry.
That's pretty cool.
Super cool. Nostalgic. So in 1992, we have the first licensed property house that would be part of the HHN legacy, and that was Wes Craven's The People Under the Stairs.
Right.
Alongside the Dungeon of Terror, which also came back that same next year. And it was a huge hit, dude. A huge hit. And they also introduced an iconic part of HHN's history, which was Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure.
Yeah.
So the story of that, it was a show, and basically the villains of Universal got a hold of Bill and Ted's phone booth, and they went on a whole escapade to try and stop it. It was really, really cool. And funny enough, that show went on well until the 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we get to 1993. Keep in mind that as each year goes by, HHN expands by double digits in popularity as far as attendance goes.
Right.
So they're like ramping this up. Now, I'm only speaking about HHN in Universal Orlando, right? Because the history when it comes to Universal Hollywood is a little complicated because at the time in the 90s, it didn't do as well because it was competing with another huge Halloween attraction called Knott's Scary Farm. So they took a couple of years off, and it came and went, but Orlando was the only location that consistently had HHN every year until a certain point in its history, which we'll get to. That's a little bit later on.
Where was Scary Farm?
California.
Yeah, but what was it?
It's in the name. It was a scary farm. It's kind of like Dollywood-esque, but instead of being about Dolly Parton, it was about, scary stuff. Yeah. I've never been personally, but I've heard good things about it.
Well, I mean,
it's as old as Horror Nights.
Around the country, there's a lot of places like that. In
Very
like different
true.
states,
Now-
they have their own thing.
Now there is.
Yeah.
So, where did we leave off? 1993. Okay, so now this year, they start to introduce some of their own properties, like the Universal Monsters and stuff like that.
Right.
And again, this is all just huge, huge success. People are loving it. They have to, like each subsequent year, they keep having to add more and more dates. And now we get to Halloween Horror Nights number 4 in 1994. This is the first time in HHN's history that they have a scare zone. Now, you and I are accustomed to, multiple scare zones, multiple houses, several IPs. But you have to keep in mind, dude, this is in the 90s. Yeah. This is something new. And every year it seems to switch up and get slightly even bigger.
Yeah.
So this was exciting stuff at the time. An area that you walk through that's not an attraction and you get scared. So this one was called Horrorwood Boulevard. It was a series of like Hollywood-type characters that, you and I know what scare zones are. In the 90s, this was a new concept. And this is the year where they had the Chainsaw Drill Team that we all know and love, which is I would argue, a quintessential part of the HHN experience.
Right.
Yeah,
you just walking around the park and you hearing those chainsaws, just like, and you'll hear a couple screams every now and then.
It's part of the experience.
Yeah.
It's something that's always been. It seems like it's kind of always been there, and it should never go away. It's like one of those things that just. It has to be part of the vibe.
Yeah, you just see them walking around.
So that same year is the first time that Universal Studios used the term a scare actor. Someone solely dedicated to acting in a way to scare people.
Right.
So that's where that term comes from. And that's the same time that they started Universal's Ghoul School, where they teach people how to be scare actors. Which is crazy to think about, like, that never existed before.
Right.
Universal created that.
Yeah.
It's and once again, amazing everything they do, everything they
Yeah.
touch, they
Yeah,
put their
yeah.
heart and soul into it,
Mhm.
and that's why it's become, pun intended, the monster it is now.
What it is now.
It is,
Yeah.
I would argue, the #1 Halloween-based attraction in the world.
Yeah.
So much so it's expanded to other parts of the world. That's how iconic it is. They even have an attraction in Las Vegas now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how huge it is. So moving from 1994,
Which is the Horror Unleashed show in Vegas.
it's not so much a show; it's a series of it's a giant warehouse. There's a whole theme behind it.
It's kind of like a Comic-Con type of thing, but for horror, but for their
They have 4
horror
houses
stuff,
and a
yeah.
giant warehouse. And funny enough, a lot of the props you see at the Vegas location are from previous HHNs throughout its history.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Very, very cool stuff. So we get to HHN 5. And this is the first time we have an icon
Mm-hmm.
that hosts the event.
Right.
And that year, it was the Crypt Keeper from Tales of the Crypt.
Mm-hmm.
So, full theming, right? And the cool thing is that this year, obviously, Wes Craven's, I believe it was such a success, it kept coming back, the People Under the Stairs house.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, they had Universal House of Horror.
Mm-hmm.
And this ties into HHN this year because this was the first house that was dual paths.
Okay.
So guests had a choice. You can go one way and see a maze solely dedicated to Universal monsters.
Uh-huh.
And in the other path, it was a path dedicated to new horror monsters,
Okay.
which was great, to
Right.
see new stuff. And the people had a choice.
Isn't that crazy, dude? Like we're so desensitized to what you can expect at these parks, but for them, dude, for them to show up there, the experience must have been like way better than we'll ever have because
It wasn't the norm.
that wasn't like
This was
a
a
normal
mind-blowing
thing.
concept.
Exactly.
It was it's not just Halloween. It's an event I can go to.
Dude, those
know what I mean?
memories that people have.
Please, if you ever have the chance, look up footage of past HHNs, especially the early ones.
Yeah.
It's just something about it, dude. Like
Yeah.
seeing old Universal in that state, and the nighttime, and
Mhm.
it was a little bit like dirty. It wasn't as clean cut. They didn't have it all figured out. It was kind of like they were just going for it.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what was such part of the charm
Mm-hmm.
that older HHN had. Now, as we're going to keep going through the history here, and we're going to actually talk about HHN number 6. You're going to see that at a certain point, HHN will shift in its evolution and start to really become what we know it as now. Because right now, this seems like kind of
Yeah.
a completely different event than what we know it to be.
Right.
So, HHN 6, 1996. Journey into Fear. So this year they had no official icon, even though the Crypt Keeper came back and had his own house and everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time that Julie Zimmerman, which was the creative director of HHN, she
Right.
leaves to go work on another project for Universal at the time.
Okay.
So Universal itself, like Universal Creative, takes it over
Mhm.
and continues with it. Now this year is the first time that they have the Crypt Keepers Festival of the Dead Parade. This was like a Mardi Gras sized event that was all nightmare themed.
Okay.
And it was a huge thing. There is footage of it. It's spectacular. I mean, over the fire and
Why didn't they
people
bring it
on
back?
stilts. I don't know. And as we go through here, by the way, we're gonna go through over some years of HHN that personally I consider to be legendary and absolute bangers.
Okay.
Because some years were better than others, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Yeah.
But dude, this Parade of the Dead, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to bring it back.
Yeah.
But you're gonna see a lot of things have happened in between. And we're going to get into some of the history of what was happening at the time in the world
Okay.
that affected HHN.
Yeah.
So, 1997, the year of my birth.
Yeah.
It's called Frightmares that year, the
Okay.
event. So that year, they kind of hinted at a character that would later become an icon for a future year. It was Dr. Agana, and she would become Bloody Mary.
Okay.
So she was kind of the icon, or not really the icon, more of a host that year.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, Universal started expanding even more the days that people were allowed to go to this event.
Mm-hmm.
And now they started adding original houses. So more original houses.
Right.
Not necessarily as much IP-related houses like they would in coming years.
Mm-hmm.
So now we move to 1998. And this is HHN 8, Primal Scream. So this year, there was a beast that was like sort of the host of that year. And it was themed heavily around like nature and like predators and monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Not like universal monsters, but like actual predatory monsters. Again, footage on YouTube. It's crazy to see the evolution of like, SFX and all the sort of, I don't want to say the word gimmick, but some of the practices that they have to really get people scared.
Yeah.
1999, before the year of our Lord 2000. 1999, Last Gasp. So, this is a year that if I had a DeLorean, I would go back to. Because this is the year that they had a house called the Creature Feature House.
Mm-hmm.
In the Creature Feature House, they used 3D glasses. So every guest got a 3D, like 90s 3D glasses.
The red and blue?
I believe so. If not, the next iteration of that, which was like the dark black lenses that we know now.
Yeah.
And what it was supposed to do was enhance some of the gore and the effects throughout the house.
I wonder how that worked.
They used it using a type of paint that would make flat objects appear round and give edges to things. Pretty crazy stuff. So now, this is a big point or a big dot, put a pin if you will, in the history of HHN, because this is HHN 10, the year 2000. And this is when Halloween Horror Nights and Universal decide to create an original character to be a part of the HHN legacy.
Yeah.
I think you know what's coming.
Yeah, I do.
You've seen the commercial, too.
Mm-hmm.
Iconic. This is the debut of Jack the Clown.
Jack the fucking Clown.
And they give him an extensive backstory that he was, part of Dr. Oddfellow's carnival in the 1920s. He murdered 13 kids.
Yeah.
And, Dr. Oddfellow had him killed and had his body put away in one of the exhibits that they had. And it's not until the 1960s that a BBC documentary crew comes across this whole story and everything. And then this is like lore. And then Universal grabs a hold of the exhibit and makes it one of the attractions for HHN.
Right.
So that's why he's unleashed and everywhere. And honest to God, in my opinion, he's one of my favorites. Just because of the charisma and the whole character. And I think he really embodies horror in general, especially at Universal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, HHN 11, 2001. So that year, they decide to shift the story from not Jack the Clown, but he gets killed by his brother Eddie, who he dons a chainsaw and has like a steel muzzle and a milky eye. However, given the events that happened in September prior to the event, Universal decided to kind of pull away from Eddie and reinstill Jack, and they got rid of any mention of the word terror. All the blood that was used as effects in the park were turned to like green slime, and they really toned down the gore. I think we all know.
Yeah, don't say it.
So
you get demonetized.
I agree. So, given the national tragedy, they toned everything down for that year. And we had another year of Jack. So, 2002. At this time, HHN was really great for studios. However, it was making a massive dip in Islands of Adventure in attendance. And so this is the year that they decide to do Halloween Horror Nights at Islands of Adventure. And it would be called Islands of Fear.
Yeah.
So, in Islands of Fear, the original icon, or the host that year, was supposed to be the daughter of a pallbearer named Cindy.
Yeah.
However, at that time, during the event in the Orlando area, there were a series of
Kidnappings.
that happened, and so Universal decided to go a different direction And instead of using her father, they changed it from him being a pallbearer to being a caretaker.
Yeah.
And that's where the character, the caretaker, came from. And he became the icon that year for Islands of Fear. And so the whole park that year was really, really cool because one HHN was done in Islands of Adventure versus Universal Studios. And each island had its own twist. So,
Right.
Superhero Island, taken over by villains. Jurassic Park, dinosaurs are loose. Yeah, really, really cool stuff.
Which, by the way, for the backlash that they faced for Superhero Island being taken over by villains was also a really large reason why they stopped doing it in Islands too. Marvel was like, that's not okay.
Really, they had a
Yeah.
problem with the villains taking over the island.
Yep. You're depicting superheroes dead laying around.
You know, it really doesn't help the fact that they had actual bodies of superheroes
Yeah,
dead
dude.
everywhere.
You can't. It's obviously gonna bring issues.
Right. I was not aware of that. I was aware of the whole them, the original icon of the little girl and them switching up, given all
Yeah.
the stuff that was happening in the area at the
Yeah,
time, but I
no.
wasn't aware about the Superhero Island
Marvel
controversy.
wasn't happy with that.
I mean, I can see as a kid that might have been kind of
You know,
detrimental.
but it's kind of it's a little messed up because like you look and you're just like, well, I think okay, the heroes laying around dead is crazy, but I think if they I think the villains could win every now and then.
I
think
agree.
it evens everything out, but just that was overboard. They went overboard with the heroes just laying around.
Yeah,
dead.
that I agree
That's
with.
bad.
But I think this really says something about Universal willing to kind of push the envelope a little bit. I think that's the reason they've been so successful in so many things is that they're willing to try.
Well, they didn't know that they would face that much backlash from it. And then when they did, they kind
Right.
of accommodated it. They stopped.
No, right.
I
of
think
course.
I think Islands, if they brought that back, it'd be sick. Obviously, just don't do the bodies laying around.
No, I agree.
I think that was the biggest issue.
Right.
If I think it would be cool to see the heroes, the villains win every now and then. Because we live in this fantasy that the heroes can only win. Even
Right.
it out, make it
Right.
legit. There's a chance that they win.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ride. Doctor Doom is a ride there.
Right. I would have made it not so aggressive. I would have gone more cartoony with it.
I wouldn't do cartoon either. There's just no need to leave the heroes lying around dead.
That's true.
That was
That's
where
true.
they just went a little too far, just a little bit.
But you know what? You have to respect the intent and the fact that they try to do something new.
No, 100%, 100%.
Because I've never heard of that anywhere else.
Yeah. No.
So,
Yeah.
2003,
Mm-hmm.
Halloween Horror Nights 13.
The year I was
This
born.
year, we have a new icon, the director. So that year, it was themed as the director's cut. So
Oh, that's right.
the whole story of Paolo Ravinsky, a guy who
obsessed with film,
snuff films and filming people for real, getting hurt and
tortured
and dying and
killed.
torture.
Yeah.
So he was the host that year, and it would continue in Islands of Fear. And the whole thing is that each one of the attractions was themed after a film of his.
Right.
So the original houses that year were, things that he filmed and did, and it was cool concept.
Yeah.
Cool concept.
Well, one of the houses was also like he was. It's like you're walking through him actually filming.
Yes.
In the process of
Yes.
filming his movie,
Mhm.
which is pretty. That honestly, I can't imagine like the trippiness it must be when people are walking through and they're seeing all that.
Right. So now we move to 2004, Halloween
Mhm.
Horror Nights 14. This is an interesting year, and I'll tell you why. So remember how I said the reason they switched it over to Islands was because due to a lack of attendance
Mm-hmm.
in Islands. Well, as soon as you plug one hole, another goes off.
Right.
Because attendance was slipping in studios.
Right. Yeah.
So they said, you know what? Let's do them both. So that year they had, it's called Twice the Fear. So
Which is pretty cool.
cool concept.
Mhm.
Now, obviously, practicality and finance and stuff like that, I'm assuming was a big reason.
You think so? I don't
I think
think
so.
it would be that.
Dude, finance is it's something you have to consider into all of this. Things cost money.
For what though? You think it was more expensive for them?
Maybe they didn't get the amount of attendance or revenue they needed in order to create that much production. Like it cost a lot to make HHN.
I think
dude.
back then. I think now they can do both parks. They make more than enough on HHN.
We're gonna talk about that because I shout out to one of my favorite Universal YouTubers, the Pew2. He was talking about the possibility of an event, not the possibility, but something that he would like to see as far as HHN. In Islands of Adventure, so studios could be, the main event, but they should have something a little less scary, more family oriented in Islands of Adventure at the same time, so that they can compete with Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween.
Yeah.
I think that as a concept is something really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, that is speculation
Yeah.
and an idea.
That's not bad actually, though. If that's like, yeah, but then how do they like? They could go like really. They could up the ante with HHN and studios, and make it like really gore, and it's like 18 plus. And then Islands is like kids and everyone can go.
So
You know what I mean?
I understand where you're coming from, but you're excluding a lot of teenagers.
Yeah, that's true. Man.
That's the issue. So
13 plus?
I think cutting it off at a certain age is kind of difficult because I've seen kids at HHN that are like 10 and they're cool.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And they're fine. And
I guess you're right.
Some
No,
of them, I don't
Scrap
think
it.
exclusion is not
Right,
something
on
we
it.
want to. Yeah.
Minions reference.
Why are you so old?
No, I wanted a dart gun, not a oof.
The fart gun.
No, a dozen bot robots. No, cookie robots, not boogie robots. Right, on it.
So, that was the director's cut, and then we have HHN 14, which was dual parks. 2005. Tales of Terror. That's the name of that year. So this one was all based on dark horror and mythology. So it was like a whole. Each section was kind of like Mad Maxy and had like tribes of like post-apocalyptic people, but also mythological knights and dark magic and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, they had a really cool house inside of Poseidon's Fury called the Terror Mines.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason it's cool is because for that attraction, every 10th person to go into it was given a hard hat with a light on it. Because it's mine.
Cool. Where's? Oh, that's right. It's not on the set anymore.
It's not on the set.
Jurassic Park mine.
So, and throughout the maze were a series of sensors that would trigger the light on the hat to do different things. It would strobe, it would go out,
Damn.
it would flicker,
That's actually
it
pretty
would change
cool.
color. Right. An interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really, really cool.
It's pretty. That is honestly.
Yeah. The only issue is afterwards you couldn't buy alcohol because you were a minor. Dude, I had that one in the chamber.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is another big year.
I'm sorry. That one was just.
I'm trying to walk away from it.
Yeah, let's do that.
So Halloween Horror Nights 16. So a lot of people consider this to be a really, really great year because they advertised it this year as the Sweet 16. So it's like an anniversary celebration of HHN.
Okay.
You right there, bud?
I'm fine.
Sweet 16. Focus. And this was the year that horror comes home. So they had all 4 original icons. And like there's the whole commercial of them with like the birthday. It's like horror themed birthday cake, and then they stab the guy in the coffin.
Nice.
Very, very cool stuff. So this one had Jack, the caretaker, the director, and the storyteller.
Yeah.
I remember the storyteller from the commercial, where it's a lady telling a story out of an old book, and then she like walks over to a guy that's laying on a bed. He's got a sheet covering him, and then she like rips the sheet off, and he's like on a bed of nails.
Nice.
And then she says goodnight to him, and she cuts a rope that has like holding an anvil, and then it.
Cool.
Cool. That was my first early memory of.
Does blood spew everywhere?
No, they cut it before the anvil falls.
Ah.
Movie magic, baby. It's all in your head. That was the first commercial I remember at my youth of Halloween Horror Nights and being like, what is that? What is that? That's scary. I don't know what that is. So yeah, that was a really big year, and they did a whole tribute to all the past icons, and each one of them had their own attraction that year. Cool stuff. Now, I want to talk to you about 2007. Because 2007, this is one of those instances where if I had a DeLorean, the first thing I would do, as far as Halloween is concerned, is go to this year and go to Horror Nights that year as much as I can. Do you know why?
Why?
Because that year was the Carnival of Carnage.
Okay.
Hosted by Jack the Clown.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the year where it was IP heavy.
Right.
Meaning that this is the first time that Universal licensed IPs they did not own. So they partnered with New Line Cinema to bring Freddy vs. Jason. Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. So Jason was there. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, this is when they used to do the really cool thing, which I don't know why they don't do it anymore, where they there was a specific day where if you went, they had an event, and it was like a huge stage, and that's when they would announce the houses, and they'd be standing up there. And Jack the Clown would be, kind of running a show.
Yes.
And then, boom, he introduces.
Seen it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's so sick. I don't know why they don't do that anymore.
The commercial alone
The
was really,
tickets
really cool.
that you would sell, you could sell separately for people to go and see that event.
Well, they do kind of have it because they do it now when they announce the houses. It's just different. It's
dude,
not
the
like
houses
before.
get announced. People just walk around the park and wait till the shops announce the houses.
Right.
Universal, bring it back. That's a good dude, I would pay 100%. That event was just so cool.
Like a separately ticketed event, like an Orlando Informer kind of event where you can go and they do a whole show and release. Yeah. I see what you're saying. But back to the year.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, so that year they had all my favorites. I mean, it was the year of slashers. Plus other cool stuff. So that year they had, obviously, the Friday the 13th house, Texas Chainsaw house, Nightmare on Elm Street house. But they also had The Thing, Assimilation.
Right.
So it was like a house based off of John Carpenter's The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a house based on Dead Silence.
Nice. Yeah,
Telling you, dude, that year was a banger.
Yeah. No, having dude, I mean, those are the only one you're missing there to just make it the absolute ultimate is
the slasher.
That's the ultimate lineup. If you had all four of those,
there's always the future. There's always the future. Would not be the problem is now things are so big, and this is when we start to this being the first year that they went IP heavy versus having a lot of original houses. This is kind of a turning point for HHN. This is when we really start to delve into what's popular at the time.
Right.
And they kind of double down on it consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because now it's going to be the year you can kind of guess, whereas before you didn't really know what Universal was going to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why I twitched there, but it was whatever. So, HHN 18, 2008. Reflections of Fear. So this is the one where they officially have as an icon Bloody Mary.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the attractions, some of them are sort of her apparitions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she was the host that year. And the commercial itself was, the whole thing with the mirror. Very, very cool stuff. It was like a really hardcore campaign that year on psychological horror that Universal did. Yeah. So then we moved to 2009. HHN 19. This one's pretty cool. This is another year that I would check out. So, ripped from the silver screen. So this year they had the usher, right? That he worked at the Pantages Theater in Universal. This is the lore.
Right.
And all the attractions that year were ripped from the silver screen. So that year they had like cinematic horror.
Mm-hmm.
It's my bread and butter. So they had Saw, they had Chucky, and the Wolfman.
Yeah.
Just to highlight some of the ones they had that year.
What's going on, guys? This is Nico here. I just wanted to take a quick break from the pod and just let anyone know if you have a company that you would like to get a little shout out. This part of the episode will be for that. Future episode will have a couple breaks throughout. If you want to be shouted out, maybe your Instagram or any social media platforms or businesses you want shouted out on the pod, feel free to contact us at universalbrosunpluggedpodcast@gmail.com. Again, you can also reach out to us on Patreon. Feel free to go on to the conversations part of Patreon and contact us, and we will definitely respond and see what you guys want to do. And, you know, any sponsors, this would be a perfect opportunity for you to plug your businesses. Let's get back to the episode. And we're back. So, where do we leave off?
We are now at the 2010, so this is HHN 20.
HHN 20.
20 Years of Fear.
Nice.
20 Years of Fear. So in this one, Universal comes up with a character which is the actual personification of fear itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, all the houses are a tribute to like fear's sort of works and different personifications of it.
Right.
To celebrate 20 Years of Fear. It's an anniversary year.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And now we're getting into the 2010s, obviously, which are the more recent HHNs. And now we start to see a more refined, I would say, version of HHN where they really nail certain things down and they really start getting into, you know, adding bits and pieces of the lore of HHN with all the icons of the past and everything.
Yeah. Giving like histories
and
stuff.
The theming is a little bit more robust, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So now we move to 2011, HHN 21. And the host this year, the icon, is called Lady Luck. So that year's whole thing was about gambling with fate. You know, and messing around with things out of your control and risking it all, so to speak. So all the attractions that year were part of a storyline, and they were all like fate themed, like tempting fate and death and stuff like that. And now we move to 2012, and this is what I was telling you earlier about them starting to shift to more IP-driven years.
Mm-hmm.
So in this one, there's no main icon. 2012. No license, only licensed properties. And this is when we had the first year where they introduced The Walking Dead.
Nice.
So heavily leaned into The Walking Dead. I mean, different scenes from The Walking Dead throughout the park.
Dude, it was huge. It was one of the biggest.
I think this is
one of the biggest shows ever.
One of the biggest shifts in the history of HHN was the introduction of The Walking Dead and its popularity.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, even us, we were obsessed with that show when it was coming.
Dude, it was
every Sunday
the biggest show in the United States
to watch
at the time.
it. Yeah.
You know, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Until it wasn't. That's just my opinion. 2013, HHN 23. So again, The Walking Dead also headlines as the main IP that year. But this year they introduced a couple of other really cool IPs like Ash from the Evil Dead, Cabin in the Woods, and they also kind of introduced a couple of original houses that year like we see them do nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, amongst the IPs. 2014. Again with The Walking Dead.
Dude, it was just getting better and better.
They kept expanding in its new season every so often. It just made sense to capitalize on it.
No, 100%.
It was huge. It's as horror as it gets.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the ether. It's in the pop culture.
Yeah.
It just made sense. But they also added some really other cool stuff this year, like Alien vs. Predator.
Oof.
Super cool.
I love those movies.
And this, in its history, is the first time that they have Halloween.
Nice.
John Carpenter's Halloween.
Nice.
And this time the event expanded. and it grew to a whopping 8 houses amongst the IPs with originals added in,
Nice.
and more scare zones.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're at the robust size that we all know and love that HHN is
Right.
huge. So, 2015, the 25th anniversary of HHN.
Which just to just stop you really quick. Do
Yeah.
you think, like, I'm assuming next year they're gonna
35.
they're gonna do like the 35th anniversary.
They're going to do something. Knowing them,
It's gonna be big.
I would not doubt it.
Okay, I'm really hoping.
I'm telling you, like, we know every year, as soon as HHN ends,
Mm-hmm.
people just wait for Christmas to roll by so that
Yeah.
we can start talking about what HHN. I mean, the whole summer is just a summer of speculation every year
Yeah.
as to what Universal's going to do this year, what IPs are going to be introduced.
Yeah.
That has been consistently for, I would say, the past 10 years, the game, as far as
Right.
people that are in
Right.
the sphere of what's happening at Universal.
Right.
You know,
Right.
as soon as the summer rolls around, we go, okay, it's time to go visit the parks and peak heat.
What's going on? Yeah. Exactly.
And let's see if we can guess what they're going to come up with this year for
Yeah.
HHN.
Mhm.
Happens every year. So, 25 years of horror at Universal. And they bring back the fan favorite Jack to host it.
Perfect.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's just
yeah.
great, dude.
Yeah.
He's just great.
100%.
You know what I mean? He's an icon for a reason. You know, I'm never not happy to see him at HHN.
Yeah.
So, 2016. This is when they introduce his assistant, Chance,
Mm-hmm.
the clown girl,
Right.
clown lady. You know, don't want to be rude.
Mm-hmm.
And I would argue she's just as iconic as Jack, with
Yeah.
her charisma and her personality. She's kind of the Harley Quinn to his Joker.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
You know,
Yeah.
Just as cool. Also,
Yeah.
the actress, by the way, all the actors that have been past icons of Universal, shout out to you. You guys were amazing in your time. We're always happy to see you back, especially Jack the Clown.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah, so the cool thing with Chance's year to host in 2016, HHN 26,
Mm-hmm.
is that they continued focusing on IPs, and this year they introduced The Exorcist
Mm-hmm.
and another IP that was huge at the time, American Horror Story.
Oh.
That's a
American
heavy
Horror
hitter.
Story. Yeah.
Heavy hitter. And amongst, again, original houses, which they would consistently do till this day.
Right. It's now the base, the standard.
So, 27. Now, as we're getting closer and closer to where we are now, you're going to see that there's going to be some consistently heavy hitters every year, which is what we know it to be, right? We kind of wait to see, all right, what are the big houses this year?
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, you know, with the original houses, we know not all of them are hits, but some of them tend to be real gems.
Yeah.
So, 27. They have The Shining.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
they also have
classic.
Ash vs. the Evil Dead. And again, American Horror Story, because the show continued.
Of
and
course.
obviously, we capitalize on things that are popular.
Mm-hmm. Rightfully so, though.
I mean,
it's
dude,
not-
it makes sense.
100%.
It makes sense.
It's what-
You know,
it's what the
same thing
people
with The
wanna
Walking
see.
Dead. It's just, I would be surprised if they didn't.
But that just goes to show you once again how Universal works. They give the people what they want.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not just hey, this is what we have. You can either come look at it or not. It's like, what do you guys want to see? Oh, we got you, and
Exactly.
we're gonna do it better than you hoped
Exactly.
every year.
No, yeah.
So-
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly,
no,
yeah.
for sure.
So, 2018, HHN 28. This year is Stranger Things.
Nice.
The first time they had Stranger
yeah.
Things.
Yeah.
This is another one of those years that I would have gone in the past had
Yeah.
I had the opportunity or had I been that into HHN. Because, man.
We were all
was that a
still in
cool-
school then.
Yeah, we
You
were,
know what
we
I
were
mean?
young,
Yeah.
you know?
So we didn't have our own full blown adult money to just blow.
Exactly.
So
So, amongst Stranger Things, that alone is, I would argue, one of the best IPs in the history of HHN.
Yeah.
With the way they executed it.
man. It was just a great show.
I just think, dude, it was so popular and so like cool. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
just popular for being popular. It was popular because it was amazing.
Because of how good it was. Yeah, exactly.
That year they also had Poltergeist, classic,
Mm-hmm.
and Halloween 4. Of all the movies, they chose Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Odd choice,
Hey,
but
man.
okay.
Hey.
I'm just happy to see Michael.
Hey, some people liked it.
I'm just happy to see
There's an
Michael.
audience for everything.
No complaints here.
Look
I'm
at
just
Jimmy
saying
Fallon.
it's a bit odd, was all. And that's the year that one of the original houses becomes a fan favorite, which would come to be known as Slaughter Cinema, with an S,
Right.
not with a C. And if you go on like the Horror Nights wiki, that's like one of the houses like everyone rants and raves about that year.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a great year that you and I are going to agree would have been awesome to go to. HHN 2019. This is now, we're getting to our time.
Mm-hmm.
Stranger Things 2 and 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, just
Yeah,
wait.
yeah, yeah.
Wait. This is another year that's a banger.
Stacked up.
Ghostbusters.
Oh,
2.
dude, I know.
Back to back.
I know.
But we're not done yet.
No.
You want to know what the third one is?
Yeah.
Killer Clowns from Outer
Killer
Space.
Clowns, man. I know,
Oh,
dude.
man.
If I had a DeLorean, man, that's it right
What
there.
a great year. Oh, what a great year.
I know, dude.
It's almost it's like the year that we went in 22 that I consider to be a banger.
Just highlights
Just-
all
yeah,
around,
dude.
all
Awesome,
around.
awesome year. And again, that year one of the original houses got a lot of praise. It was called Graveyard Games, and amongst the fandom of people that are super into HHN specifically, that's
Mhm.
considered to be one of the best original houses that Universal has ever made.
Yeah.
Now here we get into a little bit of history when it comes to HHN,
Mm-hmm.
because HHN 30
Yeah.
should be an anniversary, right? However, it fell on 2020.
Yeah.
And as we all know how that panned out, HHN was canceled. Oh,
So they didn't count it for that year, right?
no.
So
no.
technically, we're supposed to be 35
In
right
the
now.
correct timeline,
We
yes.
would
but we're
be
in this timeline.
in the right time, in a different
we have to go
multiverse.
back to the past, Marty. We have to fix it. I don't know how we would have fixed that.
No,
but
no.
That's
Let's
yeah.
not get into that. Let's not get into that.
But yeah, during the daytime that year, granted they had limited visitation at Universal. They had 2 houses open during the day, so it wasn't really HHN.
Yeah.
2 original houses. They were just kind of like, this is the best we can do, guys.
Yeah.
Please lift your mask. So
mask over the nose.
nose.
Over the nose. Thank you.
what a time to be alive. So now we move to HHN 31.
Yeah. 31.
Right. This is the 30th anniversary of HHN. 30 years of fear. Yay, we did it.
Yeah.
We survived. Okay, so this year they bring back Jack the Clown for the anniversary.
Fire.
They bring back Chance, the director, and the storyteller, plus a couple more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a whole thing. It's a smorgasbord of, just happiness and blah, blah, blah. Also, a little side note. The year of 2020, the 2 houses that they had, one was based on the Tooth Fairy, obviously a dark interpretation,
Mm-hmm.
and Frankenstein Lives.
Cool.
The Bride of Frankenstein Lives. So those
Right.
are the 2 houses they offered to the people during the daytime that year.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about the 30th anniversary. So the 30th anniversary that year was really, really cool because the IPs that year, aside from the icons having their presence and everything, which we love,
Mm-hmm.
Haunting of Hill House,
Mm-hmm.
which is a great, iconic film. Beetlejuice.
Nice.
We love seeing
Love
Beetlejuice at the
Beetlejuice.
park.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? We shop at the same store, hermano.
The juice is loose.
And they had Texas Chainsaw Massacre that year. Oh man.
Which, by the way, we're gonna put a clip of. I have a full costume.
Yes.
That I took the time to really make, and I'll put a clip right here.
Fun stuff.
Very nice.
We love Halloween and we love Texas Chainsaw.
So yeah.
Shout out to the state of Texas.
By the way, I'm 6'6", so imagine that thing running at you full speed.
There's no need to boast. Okay.
That's not boasting. Not boasting. I'm just saying.
So, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Every day is Halloween. That's the theme for HHN 31,
Mm-hmm.
technically.
Yeah.
So that year they focused heavily on like the mythology behind Halloween. And this the year that we went where they had the Pumpkin Lord.
Yeah.
Super cool, by the way. Love pumpkins.
Yeah.
Love
yeah,
Halloween. And that's the year that they had Halloween itself, which we went to.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They had the weekend after hours.
Mm-hmm.
Great house. And they also had Universal Monsters.
Yeah.
where they
Legacy
duked it out.
Monsters. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Great year, man. Yeah. And then, in these past recent years, we had, 32, HHN, which was, The Last of Us, huge IP with the HBO show and everything.
Yeah.
Chucky, and that was the year that Dr. Oddfellow, part of the lore, came and was the host. What happened?
Yeah. Nothing.
Did I not catch the joke you made?
No, I was going to make a joke. I'm holding it in right now.
Yeah, do that.
You know what I'm talking. You know what I wanted to do.
Dr. Oddfellow?
No.
Cult of Chucky?
No.
The Last of Us? I don't. I guess I'll figure it out in post.
Yeah.
So then we get to 2024, which was last year.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, the big hit was Frozen Empire,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ghostbusters. We love to see it. And A Quiet Place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huge IP.
Quiet Place is a good one.
Yes, I saw the videos. Cool. I
Yeah.
personally, the films don't really do it for me, but I get.
Really? You didn't like the movies?
It's not that I don't like them. I think they're a really cool original concept. It's just, I don't know, just doesn't hit. They're not bad. They're not bad by any means.
Really? That's shocking.
No, I know.
They're really good.
The leg. Yeah. No. They're great films. They're really cool, and the concept is amazing, right?
Mm.
Very Stephen King-esque as far as concept. Like, it kind of gives off the same vibe of like The Mist,
Speaking of Stephen King,
Yes.
have they done it? I don't think so.
You mean Pennywise?
Yeah, Pennywise.
I'm not entirely sure.
That would be a good one.
I'm pretty sure some year they did it. There has to be.
You really?
We're going to research that.
Yeah, we have to double check that. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
There's been dude,
I mean, I know there's been a lot.
over 30
I know.
years. We're rolling up on 35. That's a lot of houses.
I'm talking about like the most recent it.
Recently, I got to be honest with you, it's not, it could be, but it's in my mind right now. I'm not being able to remember as to whether or not they have.
Okay.
But there's always the future.
We'll look into that.
Yeah, dude. So, in essence, HHN is great. That's all I have. That's all I have to say. Yeah, dude. HHN. There's a reason it's the #1 Halloween attraction in the world. It's movie quality. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's great.
sure.
It's a vibe. It's crazy to think the whole evolution of what it started as and what it is now. It's just, I mean, well, they've had 30 years to perfect it, right?
Yeah.
Perfect the art of the event.
No, of course.
And now it's just amazing, It's super
Yeah.
cool. Super, super cool. I love horror. I love Universal horror even
Mhm.
more. Exciting stuff. I mean, every year, I've never not thought about HHN every year,
Hmm.
And I've never even really considered going to any other event. When fall hits, I mean,
Yeah.
Granted, there's been years that I haven't gone just because those IPs don't pique my fancy. But that doesn't mean that they weren't great years.
Yeah.
It just wasn't worth me going through the effort of going.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas there have been years that have. Like when they had Halloween, which was my #1 horror film of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And this year, which I know is going to be a banger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very hopeful, very excited.
What are some things you like, IPs or houses you'd like to see like in the future?
Well, I know that next year is going to be 35, and I'm
Mhm.
hoping that they have a sort of celebration for HHN.
Mm.
We'd love to see it. I would love to see Jack and Chance come back, or maybe even, I don't know. I kind of feel like, I know we kind of brushed over it because we had a lot to get through as far as the
Mhm.
history of HHN. but I feel like Eddie didn't really get a fair shake given, the time that he was supposed to
Yeah.
come out and everything.
Yeah.
I would love to see. So think of it like this. Let's say Eddie comes back
Mm.
and kind of gets together with some sort of, I don't know, a witch type entity to bring Jack and Chance back. And then they take over HHN. And him and his brother, along with Chance and the witch, I'm just spitballing here. Universal Creative. Just want to throw my hat in the ring. And it could be a whole thing. Now, to expand on what we were talking about earlier, I think it would be really cool to have a less scary event that's more kid-friendly and family-oriented in Islands of Adventure at the same time. But here's the thing. I understand that it's also a functioning park. And, Studios does not suffer from HHN being hosted at Studios. Islands of Adventure, we don't know. That's a big leap, making a brand new, because it would be a brand new event. It's not HHN. It's a separate thing. That would be a big risk, I think. But, I think it's a cool idea. It would be really cool.
What was it called before?
What, Fright Nights?
No. Like Islands of Adventure when they did the...
Islands of Fear.
Islands of Fear, yeah. Let's do Islands of Horror.
Islands of Horror. Not bad. Not a cool idea. And that one, I would give out candy.
Horror Island.
Because my only thing is that at Horror Nights, you don't get candy.
Yeah.
I know I'm an adult, but I mean, the idea would be nice. It is Halloween after. I mean, we're celebrating essentially during Halloween time.
Yeah.
Halloween-esque, Halloween adjacent,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, but for kids to like trick or treat and stuff like that. Also, I think it'd be really cool to take a picture with kind of like Halloween themed versions of like kids characters, like the Cat in the Hat and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool for the kids. Give them a little piece of candy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much money we have to spend on candy to give all these kids.
Yeah.
Some candy, but cool. And then you could do a whole thing with that. You could do, and the whole Dr. Seuss landing, themed treats and everything like they do for the tribute stores and fun stuff like that. Little shows, like when they do the storytelling and Seuss Landing, and you could have like people in little T-Rex outfits, not like the ones you see on TikTok, but like movie quality.
Yeah.
Little pet dinos that kids can take pictures with.
I mean, it would be pretty cool, like the whole thing. The dinos loose at night. The guys that where their legs are sticking out, but they still have the legs on the side. It would be they just black them out. They're wearing black. Their legs are black, and then that would be crazy. Running around chasing people.
The year that they had Islands of Fear, one of the houses in the Jurassic Park area was it was a house where it's like you went through a series of experiments gone wrong, where it's that they're like humans mixed with dinosaurs. Weird concept, but cool nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole dinosaurs being loose is just, mwah, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
That's an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Approved. I don't know. Approved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Us giving all these ideas, and people are like, "Oh man, we want to see this." The accountant at Universal is like, "God,
I'm done. Quit the show.
I'm done.
Cut the show. You can't keep getting away with it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think some houses I would want to see that I think it would be pretty cool is Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
That would be
a
sick.
lot of people want that. I want that. Last year when they came out with all that Creature of the Black Lagoon merch, everyone was convinced. They were just like, oh my god, it's happening. The Office reference. Oh my god, stay calm, it's happening. And then, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another one I would, and this isn't, it's not for everyone. I'd want to see like a Van Helsing type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where you could be walking through a house and you encounter the brides of Dracula's brides. And they're all, they're either, with guys, they're trying to flirt with them. With the girls, they're kind of like, trying to persuade them to join them. And then you run into Dracula, the wolf, the werewolf. And then, Van Helsing trying to fight them, fighting the brides off with the girl. I think that would be super, super sick.
I think they've done a Van Helsing-esque type house before. I mean, I know this year they have Monster Hunters, but it's more Western themed.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but I think, yeah, Van Helsing. I mean, I don't know if they would be IP driven. I think it would be kind of an original
Yeah, with like
take.
Dracula. Do it with Dracula and the
Yeah.
werewolf. You can do that with the Wolfman.
Dracula and Werewolf. Well, that is an in-house IP. I wonder how that would work.
It'd be pretty cool. It would
You
be
know.
sick because
Yeah.
the brides could be like, you could be like you're walking through the castle, you know, like the hallways of the castle,
Right, like when
kind of
they
like they did with the Legacy.
With the Pharaoh's tomb that we were walking
Exactly,
through.
but you're
No,
now
yeah, I see
walking
what you're
through
saying.
the castle,
Very cool.
and you know the brides that they're like coming out, and some of them are, you know, super pretty, normal,
yeah.
and then some of them are transformed, or as you go they slowly start to transform, and then they're like, you know, the
Yeah.
full-blown creature, and then you at the end is like, you know, Dracula fighting the werewolf.
Yeah.
You know, like some part, it would be cool, like if you're walking like through a certain part of the castle and there's like one of those fake hallways, kind of like they had in Halloween,
Yeah.
and like, you know, it like kind of forces you to look down it, and when you look down it, you know, the werewolf, you see him run by,
Yeah.
you know.
No, that's really cool.
Wouldn't that be sick?
I never got to go the years that they had The Walking Dead because I was like too young.
Yeah.
I would just like, I mean,
A
it would
zombies
be,
one would be
yeah,
sick,
like
like
some sort of IP
apocalyptic,
that's
yeah.
zombie related because I never
Yeah.
got to experience that. Nah, that's one of my favorite subgenres of.
I mean, that's
is
what
zombie
that's what
films. They could do like Return of the Living Dead or even Dawn of the Dead. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Something cool like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like we're running through the
Mhm.
mall where all the zombies are and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you have the biker gang too, so it's like a
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
that would be super sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big fan of them doing the classic Universal for like the past two or like before last year, or whatever. That they did the Legacy one that we saw
Mm-hmm.
with, you know, Dracula the Werewolf and the Mummy,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next year they did like Phantom of the Opera, you know, the Invisible Man and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's super cool. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now we have Darkmoor, you know, where we can see those characters a little more consistently.
Now that there's, you know, they're expanding Darkmoor, they're
Mhm.
gonna add to it, and they're gonna expand Epic. Could you see them doing a Halloween Horror Nights-esque thing for Epic? Because
I don't
they
know,
can
dude.
do it. They can do it. Every part, other than, I don't know how they would convert Isle of Burke to like the horror thing, but with Nintendo, they can do it.
Luigi, it's just all Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion, dude. That's a Halloween game right there. That's a spooky game. They can do
Yeah.
it all like that with the ghosts running around. Dude, it'd
Yeah.
be sick.
It's all just Luigi's Mansion.
Dude, it's
That's
Nintendo
funny.
World. I mean, that's
No,
what
it's cool,
dominates
yeah.
most of Nintendo
No,
World.
yeah, you got a point
And
there.
then of course, Darkmoor, dude. I mean, what more do you want?
Harry Potter, you could just, you know,
You missed that right there.
you could just what?
What more could you want?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
They're just flying over me this
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
That is what it is.
Um,
Ministry of Magic, you could just do Voldemort and, you know,
oh, that's what I wanted to see. I would love to see
a Harry
like,
Potter house.
Not Harry. I would like to see Harry Potter, like Voldemort taking over.
Well, it could
And
be.
now, and listen to me. Listen, hear me out. Universal, hear me out.
Let him cook.
Now with the technology that we have, with the drone show, you can put the dark mark in the sky.
Okay, I'm with you. No, let him cook.
Okay,
He's cooking.
I understand that in Diagon Alley, the Death Eaters are around the park all day, and in Halloween Horror Nights. I know that. I love it. But why can't we have the dark times of, you know,
Right.
you
Death
know,
Eaters and yeah.
exactly. You know, let's make it feel like we are, you know, living through, you know, the Half-Blood Prince,
Right.
and the Deathly Hollows. We can make it. There's plenty. That would be sick if that was one of the IPs, and fuck it, and Voldemort is walking around, you know, doing his thing. Like, tell me that wouldn't be sick. Death Eaters everywhere, Snatchers, because it's not just Death Eaters. They don't have to be the
No,
mask.
right,
You have
right.
Snatchers that are going around. You know, you can have, and then again in Epic, you can do it to where the France part is, the Ministry of Magic. You have all the people that are corrupt, that have taken over the Ministry of Magic.
Right.
It'd be sick. You can put the, number one desired throughout the Ministry of Magic in the queue at night.
Right.
Dude, I mean, it's there. It is there. Even if you don't want to expand to Epic, in Horror Nights, in studios, the IP having Harry Potter would be, and you're going to tell me people aren't going to eat that up? People already eat up Harry Potter as is.
With everything that you're saying, the only thing that comes to my mind is that would be so popular and so crowded, it would be impossible for me to get a butterbeer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what you do? Look at me. Look at me. I found your solution. You can go in and out of the park. Just walk your way to City Walk because there's a butterbeer bar.
Right you are, Harry.
Right you are, once again. Just go to City Walk and get yourself a butterbeer. Walk back into the park. It ain't that far.
I don't know if HHN you can walk out and walk back in. I don't think so.
Why would you not be able to if you have a valid ticket for that day?
I don't think you can go in and out. It's like once you're for that event, I'm not sure. That to me,
Really?
just seems a bit iffy. It's not like the park's normal operating hours. But it doesn't matter, dude. I'll just wait. It's okay.
I think once you have the barcode,
Dude,
it's not like they take it away.
I'll tell you
from
what, you were cooking the dark mark in the sky.
Dude, that's sick.
Pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. If it's like the movie, we have the technology. That's pretty cool.
And
buddy.
then
That's a cool
look,
concept.
and hear me out. Hear me out. Stay with me. Stay with me, folk. When they do the Lagoon show, you can do the scene where they're transporting Harry from his house to the what's it called, where do they live?
The Order of the Phoenix?
No. They take him to the Weasley's
Right.
house when they're transporting him, and then Hedwig dies. With the Black Lagoon show, they can show that, they can make it seem like it's happening right there.
I don't want to see Hedwig die again.
Dude, you have to see it, but then Voldemort comes and then you get to see the motorbike. Dude, that'd be sick. I'm telling you, it can happen, and you can't tell me that you won't make money off of it. You'll 100% make money on it. I'm there.
Unrelated.
I'm there.
Did you know that in the Lagoon show, at one point they had like a Miami Vice action show in the Lagoon?
Really?
Very, very early on.
In the lagoon.
Yeah.
Like the speedboat would drive through?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fire.
Super cool.
Very Florida.
Very Florida.
Great.
That's as Florida as it gets.
That's amazing.
Any more Florida and they'd all be holding a pub sub. Shout out to Publix.
Nothing like a good old pub sub.
Nothing like a good old pub sub.
honestly.
This is an idea. So this is completely unrelated to HHN, and I'm sorry to get off track here. We are from Florida. Wouldn't it be so cool in City Walk to have, I would argue, the quintessential Florida restaurant, a Flanagan's at City Walk?
That would be amazing. That would be
It
amazing.
would be, first of all, it would be crowded. Because everyone would want to be like, now I have to go to the Flanagan's at Universal.
Where do you think, where should they put that?
I don't know. I don't want to be mean and replace anyone that's already there.
It is true though.
Would be cool.
It would be
Just saying.
fire. But here's the thing.
And it could be the biggest one.
Here's the thing though. Here's what comes with that.
Right.
Is you are contradicting Margaritaville. You are competing against Margaritaville, and they're not going to do that. It is. Don't tell me
You
no.
think so?
It is.
I don't know, man.
They are very similar. Very similar. You know, and
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
They don't want to take the business away from Margaritaville.
I would say Bubba Gump is closer to Flanagan's than Margaritaville is.
No.
Margaritaville is more island escapism, whereas Flanagan's is like...
Margaritaville's
Flanagan's-
tropical, and Bubba Gump is swamp, Louisiana, New Orleans.
You got a point. No, yeah, you got a point there.
So Flanagan's is Florida. It's tropical. It is what it is.
Tropical, I would
It's like
say
a beach shack. That's
it's
what
like
it's supposed to be.
Right, it's like fisherman's
Yeah.
hideout.
Margaritaville
Sports
is
bar.
is-
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I don't think they would say yes due to, you know,
Conflicting. Competing
Exactly.
business.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, it's a nice thought though.
It's like if they opened another sports grill.
It would be cool to see the Green Cup at Universal.
It would. A universal
Shout
green
out
cup.
to Flanagan's.
How would they do that? What
Do
do
what?
you think they would do with the green cup?
Can you imagine if they did what's it called, a collab where they do a freestyle cup that's also Flanagan's? All right,
They are in affiliation with Coca-Cola too.
we are
We're cooking.
in untrekked territory.
What would
No.
the cups look like?
I'm just cooking.
Nah, but you'd want the original Flanagan's cups too. They'd just be universal style.
Yeah.
It's
a fun thought.
Imagine if it's the green cup, and then it's he's on the bike and it's Joe's face in the basket. Tell me that wouldn't be sick.
That's funny.
That'd be funny.
That's funny. The Green Cup walks out of the DeLorean, but it's like super huge. So it's like it takes a minute to get out of the.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Fun
It'd be
stuff.
cool. I mean, I would go eat there too. But then I'd be like, "Oh, do you guys want to go to Margaritaville or Flanagan's?" And you'd be like, "Oh, well, which one?" And then people would go, "Oh, we have Flanagan's at home." Well, for us, we have Flanagan's at
Right,
home.
we have Flanagan's at home.
So let's eat at Margaritaville, which we don't have at home.
Well, I think there is one that's just they're all a drive. They're not as close as like
Yeah.
all the Flanagan's
Yeah,
locations that we have.
But still,
Yeah.
you know, I think we keep Flanagan's here, Margaritaville there.
Just a thought. Just a thought for your consideration. No, but yeah. Okay, so to get back to HHN, yeah, dude, I'm excited for this year that I'm going. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen next year.
Yeah.
It's just all good stuff. I mean, and we don't even know. The cool thing about HHN is that it could shift based on what becomes popular. We don't know what movie's gonna come out next year. We don't know what's gonna be the next huge horror IP.
Yeah, like this
That-
new one that honestly, no one's talked about this movie, and I want to know
What
if it's good
movie?
or not. What happened last summer or something like that.
Oh, I know what you did last summer.
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah, it's a sequel to the.
Did you watch it?
I've seen the original.
So
Not for me,
okay,
but
noted.
it's a cult classic, like Scream or like many other films of its time. You know what I mean?
I haven't heard anyone really talk about it. Like, oh, I saw it. No, nobody. Nope. It's just I guess it's not just draw. It's just not. Marketing wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, Final Destination Bloodlines came out, but I don't.
Final Destination. I don't know. I don't see that coming.
I'm a
to
big fan of
horror
the
nights.
franchise.
I agree. I'm with you. I think they're really good movies.
I just don't know how we would turn that into a house.
Exactly.
Is the only thing.
How would you make that happen?
How do we,
Well,
without putting people like it seems?
you can make it seem like the actors are. No.
You're just walking through a maze of people in a series of accidents.
Yeah, people are dying. Yeah.
I think that would be more sad.
I think it'd be more weird. Like to see someone
It's
like
just
impaled.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more just like
Oh,
huh?
okay.
You're like
Oh, okay.
You all right there, bud?
No one's coming at you. They're just too busy getting murdered by whatever entity deems it so in whatever order.
Yeah. But I would like to see it. I think that would be, if they haven't done it already, I think they can still do it. They can bring it back.
Keep in mind, they may not have done it here. They may have done it at Hollywood.
That would make more
Keep
sense.
that in mind, too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like for example, for the 50th of Texas Chainsaw, they did it at Hollywood, but not at Orlando.
Dude, Texas Chainsaw would be sick.
Oh, and they
Hire me as the actor.
And
Hire
they
me
had-
as the.
well, funny enough, you can always
As a
apply
scare
every year to
actor.
be a scare actor
I tried.
and go through the ghoul school.
I tried.
Have you ever seen the videos of the people auditioning to be scare actors? Universal,
No,
straight cringe.
really.
Straight, it's very weird. It's very uncomfortable. They try to make it not uncomfortable, but like we're all in like an office, acting weird.
Or like people like walking around.
Yeah, I've seen like videos of it, and like it's like an audition process, and there's like people behind a table, and they're nice about it. But the truth
Mhm.
is, we're all being weird and making weird noises in an office
Yeah.
in the hopes that I can get to the real thing, and then it won't look and feel weird.
Yeah.
So we're all in just our daytime clothes,
Yeah.
pretending to be zombies and making weird growling noises. amongst each other.
Mm.
Very, very weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? Man, I would have been a great Michael Myers.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%.
Or a really good Leatherface. I could be Jason.
Dude, that would be, yeah.
I could be a good Jason.
No, it would be sick. Dude, our tall ass is Jason. We're just large. I'd chase people. I did.
You can't.
Right, that's true.
You can't.
Man.
Yeah, they stopped doing that a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Safety issue.
still menacing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I remember for what was it, like 2 Halloweens ago when I went to that neighborhood.
Yeah. That's
And-
Leatherface from the 2000 remake.
And I started, dude, I mean, I was chasing people, chasing.
It's
and
fun.
then it was funny because there was like a girl who I thought, she was like really cute. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go get her number. And I started going up to her,
And you realized who you were?
and all her friends started just taking off. And so I started chasing them. And yeah, it just, it's a metaphor for life. They'll just run away in the end.
What a fantastic story that went nowhere. What do you want from me?
I mean, I was just chasing. I was chasing them. It just went
Long
to
story
show how
short,
scary
nothing
I was.
happened.
It just goes to show how scary it was.
But yeah,
And then there was a little kid who, as we were going to get in the car again. And this was before I was like getting ready to put the chainsaw away. And I was with Isis, and she opened the trunk, and I was about to put the chainsaw away, and some little kid was standing there with his little friend. He was like, "You're mean. Leave. You're being mean to
You
kids.
need to leave."
I'm not scared of you." And then Isis looked at me. She goes, "Please scare him." And I was like, I put the switch back on, and I ran up to them, and then they started screaming. They're like, "I'm sorry." They were just, dude, they curled up in a ball, dude.
nothing like it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it was so
Yeah,
funny.
fun stuff.
Yeah, that was great. I'll never forget that.
The cool thing is Michael Myers is that you don't have to do anything. You just stand there in the shadows.
Yeah. No, for
Very,
sure.
very little cardio.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that was great. So
Excitement awaits me this
Yeah,
year at HHN 34.
we're getting closer and closer. We're right there. It's gonna
Dude,
be.
I think it's gonna be awesome. I have a feeling it's gonna be a really good one.
For sure. So we are going to. So you're going now in September,
Yeah, late September.
and we are currently in talks of going in a
Again.
group
In October.
in October, and we will definitely get a whole lot of footage that we will post on our personal social medias, and there's a possibility of a YouTube channel getting
Right.
started for solely vlogs and trips to Universal.
Absolutely.
Which at that point will be us completely, uncensored, and just,
Yeah.
you get to see how we go about the parks and just really enjoy our time.
See us in our natural habitat.
And on our Instagrams, of course, it will be everything. You could definitely, I don't know if you wanted to show the family, it's just going to be us reviewing different restaurants and
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff at HHN. There's a bunch of stuff I'm gonna review.
HHN and the parks
Like
too.
merch spots, going over some of the cool stuff they have that year, the food.
Yeah. So
Fun stuff.
if you haven't already, you can follow us personally on Instagram and TikTok. Our Instagrams are in our the UBU
Yeah, the
profile.
bio. Yeah.
Feel free to go ahead and follow us. We will
Absolutely.
be posting there. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up this episode.
Great episode.
Yeah.
We love HHN.
Yeah. Feel free to comment down on if you're watching this clip as a reel on Instagram. Write down some houses you want to see. If you're on Spotify or YouTube, leave a comment down below. What are some houses you want to see? Whether you're going to HHN this year, and yeah, let's have a little chat. We'll include it in
Absolutely.
the next episode. That being said, we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Thank you guys for watching.
Peace.